So what if you've got someone on your mind? The problem is that you're in a relationship with someone else. That's a tricky, sticky situation you've got yourself into there, but don't worry, I've got you. We're going to try and sort out this minefield you found yourself in. I know this probably took you by surprise. I mean, no one means for these things to happen. They just kind of do. We're only human after all. You've probably got a ton of questions that you've been going over and over and over in your head. Why are you feeling like this? Should you tell your partner? Can you have your cake and eat it? The short answer to that one is a firm no. Put the cake down right now and back away. If you've already eaten the cake, then that's a whole different can of worms that we can deal with in this video right here. The key to be honest with yourself and make sure you do everything you can to make sure no one gets hurt, or at least no one more than is necessary. Situations like these are tricky to navigate, but as long as you're honest, considerate, and don't let yourself get carried away by your feelings before you've figured out what that really means, the best course of action should be soon become clear. So let's try and figure out what kind of feelings you're actually having for this person. Is it simply lust? You just find them so damn sexy that you can't help but think you have feelings for them. Or maybe their personality that's got you hot under the collar. You enjoy their company, they get you, and you just love hanging out with them. Whatever your feelings are, can you actually imagine yourself in a lasting relationship with them? The key to figuring this out lies in understanding the root cause of your feelings. Where have these feelings come from? They didn't just come out of nowhere, fully formed. They have roots, deep, dark roots that we need to tease out into the open. Now, maybe your relationship is actually in a good place right now. You feel happy and fulfilled with your partner and generally want to keep building your life with them. So are your feelings for this other person a result of the person themselves? Maybe you have connection with this person, be it mental or physical. If you think that this is the case, then try to figure out what makes them so special. If your feelings are purely physical, you need to be careful. You may not want to leave your partner for this person, but the fact that you're attracted to them might lead to temptations at some stage. Is it their sass or their arse? Another reason you could be attracted to someone else is that your relationship has hit a rocky patch. The feelings you have might not have much to do with the person that you're feeling them for, but with what's missing from the relationship that you're actually in. Maybe you're craving physical affection and emotional intimacy. Maybe you feel neglected, misunderstood, or unloved, and you've started to look elsewhere for those things because your partner is not up to the task. If this is you, then it's just a hop, skip, and jump to having romantic feelings towards someone else. Those feelings probably aren't because that person is particularly special, but simply because they're there and you're looking for someone, anyone to latch onto. In cases like this, you need to take your focus off the person you've developed feelings for and shift it into your relationship. Decide whether or not the issue can be fixed. Don't assume that it's a lost cause because running into the arms of someone else seems like an easier option. Now, it may not be your partner's fault. It could be that you have your own baggage, which means you find it hard to be in a relationship. You might even be trying to self-sabotage it, although be it unconsciously. Maybe you have issues with commitment or intimacy. Maybe you expect too much from your partner. Then when your partner is unable to meet your, let's be honest here, unrealistic expectations, then you start looking elsewhere. Take some time to consider whether there might be something in you that you need to work on that's led to these feelings developing. So which is it? Is it the other person? Is it your partner? Or is it you? You know, this kind of situation isn't sustainable. What you're experiencing is probably slightly more than just a passing fancy. So it's time to consider how to move forward. What if you decide that your feelings for this person are real? I don't need to tell you this, but you shouldn't do anything about those feelings whilst you're still in a relationship. It might be tempting to see if the object of your affection feels the same way about you before you break up with your partner, but that's not fair on anyone. This is the hard truth. You need to end the relationship you're currently in before you decide to make a move on the person you're interested in. But know this, that person might actually turn you down. If your feelings for them are strong enough to break up your relationship, then you need to be aware that there could be a lot of heartache involved. But then again, it might just be the start of something wonderful. On the other hand, you might decide that what you've got with your partner is special and you want to stay with them. In that case, you'll need to draw a line under your feelings for this person. What does drawing a line mean? It means move the fuck on. Stop thinking about them, stop being around them, cut ties with them if you can. If your relationship is more important to you, then you need to do everything in your power to draw that line. If you decide to stay, then should you tell your partner or not? That is your call to make. There's an arrangement for both courses of action, but it's ultimately down to you, provided of course that nothing has happened between you and the other person. If anything has gone on, if you took a bite out of that cake we talked about earlier, then honesty is the best policy. But if it's just been feelings on your part and nothing more, then you can decide whether or not to tell your partner. Now, if you think that you've got feels for someone because your relationship has some major issues, then you probably need to talk to your partner about them. That way, the two of you can make a conscious decision to work out those issues and move forward together. But make sure you pick up a good time to talk about it. Whatever you do, don't let it come out during an argument, or give yourself a little bit of Dutch courage before you broach the subject. That will not end well. It will be hard, but your conscience will always let you know whether this is a conversation that needs to be had. What are you going to do if this is all because of you and your underlying personal issues? Then you are going to need to take some active steps to work on them, preferably with a professional counsellor, so that this is the kind of thing that doesn't happen again. If you hit the link in the description, you can access one of a Conscious Rethink's trained counsellors to guide you through this. Whatever the reasons for your attractions to this other person, in an ideal world, you would stop having contact with them. Out of sight, out of mind. But what if you want to move on, but you can't get away from this person? Maybe it's a work colleague or a friend that you see a lot. That's hard. Then you'll need to have the strength of mind to be able to put your feelings aside. But first things first, you need to try and minimize the amount of time you spend interacting with them and control the nature of those interactions. That goes for digital as well as physical. If you have to see them for work, or they have a friend of yours, you should try and avoid being alone with them if possible. This will reduce the chances of your feelings developing further. If you don't have to be in contact with them, don't be. The more space you can put between you and them, the less intense your feelings will be until they eventually begin to fade away. Another trick you can use to stop thinking about someone is to think about something else, preferably your current partner. If you think about your partner instead of this other person, you can change the direction of your feelings. Just be sure that the thoughts you have for your partner are positive ones. If you're having a moan about your partner not doing the dishes in your head, then that's going to send you straight back to fantasizing about the other person. Alternatively, think about work or immerse yourself into a hobby, or learn something new. Do whatever you can to keep your mind busy. Just be patient with yourself and don't beat yourself up if you slip up and start thinking about the other person again. These thoughts won't suddenly stop overnight. Whether you decide to stay with your current partner or try to forge a new relationship with this other person is entirely up to you. No one can tell you what you feel or don't feel for either of them. Listen to your heart, but don't rush a decision. Just because the feelings you have for your partner aren't quite as electrifying as they once were, it doesn't mean that you don't care deeply about them and want them in your life forever. But hey, if you're still not sure what to do about your feelings for this other person, check the link in the description below. It will take you to our website, which has a ton of articles that will help you out. And guys, you know the drill. We always appreciate your support, so hit subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.